You can imagine a lot of the study of astrology is logging in from people with clear faculties, hindsight. So, but you can get better at that and start foresighting, and that's why astrology is here. But you first start by studying people, which are pasts, and the events that are taking place. And really, you have to be, aware that you're fully connected. You're one with all of it. You can't escape being connected to the organism that is in fact vibrating with the entire cosmos. So, um, what's happening with Mercury? Okay, so it's going to be. I already made a video about it, but I don't think I posted it. But we're talking about the messenger, which is Mercury, and so when it hits Neptune, which I'm pretty sure it's hitting Neptune in a couple days, and that's a message from Spirit, profound. If you're somebody who knows how to be quiet enough, you're going to get this message. It's going to be beautiful. It's the highest of highs. It's a message from Source. That's what a Mercury trine Neptune tells me, and it's in the sky. And so, did you get it? Because next is Mercury opposite Pluto, not far from, I mean, it's right about simultaneous almost. Just maybe a couple days away, it'll just boom, it'll hit Mercury. So, what it tells me is that, okay, so we have this very highly possible illumination of all mind about some kind of truth that is a spiritual message. It's the truth, it's God. And if you receive it, good, great, and well, but not say, imagine not everybody will. So, what will the Mercury opposite Pluto entail now? Well, there's going to be a lot of communications. Um, People aren't going to be putting up with bullshit anymore. It's time now. See, this is what interests me about, like, and so what do the narcissists do about all of that? I mean, do they remain anesthetizing themselves and then, well, tomorrow I have an appointment to go get my blue pills because, boy, life is such that it's a process that, let alone that, yes, no, we are going through a process that starts, we're wearing diapers and then we go back into diapers. But is there a society that even acknowledges the changes that our brains are going through with that? No. You're in danger of being fucking labeled being ill age 4.5, period. Just because you're fucking, I said period. Just because your brains are still developing, and if you're ignorant enough that and you don't know that that's a fact that's happening, and you should never diagnose a kid with anything, not even a fucking cancerous disease. I'm here to say you can escape that whole agenda that wishes for everybody to be fucking down with disease and sickness. How? I'm here to tell you, it's been a long and strange trip of just doing the opposite of the compulsory suggestion. This means don't take that suggestion that's out there. Very hard, because it could be your very parents that you have to be saying, well, no, actually, I'm going to do differently. And that's normal. Your parents are the first thing to gauge whether or not, nah, I have something I'm doing here. It's called my life. You have yours, I have mine, right? No, kids, a narcissistic parent won't let you know that. They haven't graduated themselves out of being a kid that knows that there is a separation and you must have respect for lives, and maybe it's interesting. Maybe? Maybe? No, they don't find anything interesting about anybody. But see, they're wired up to just be interested in their own fear and how do they mask it and make it all possible that it's more real than simply this. Boy, I'm just about ready to cut it off, but really I wanted to make my point about Mercury, which is the communicator. See, if you have an afflicted Mercury or you have a really intense Mercury, the danger is to become a false communicator or something mixed up by that. You really have to watch out, like, how is Mercury functioning? I I have a Mercury conjunct Uranus. A little bit harebrained, because we might not trust the fact that our mind was given to God a long time ago. We are just privileged and we are chosen. If that Mercury is conjuncting Uranus, you're a genius, most likely. A real live one. You know, there's people that claim to be geniuses, but they don't know what that is. Genius is pain, and the narcissist doesn't like pain. They're busy avoiding the pain of separation. That maybe they aren't their mothers and fathers, you know, or whatever it is they're enmeshing with over there, and then trying to pull it apart and saying, "There, I'm done with you, and I'm better than you. You're evil." And when it really, it's like, that all went down in your head, babe. Are you ever gonna fucking have a real relationship with somebody? How many lifetimes are you gonna go through that? Anyway, the communications that will end up being just, did you not get your spiritual message? Did you not evolve through that illumination? And now the communication that comes up that says, "I want my freedom. This is just the way it is." Is it going to work for you, or is it going to be like the worst thing that has ever happened? And whether you answer that question to me or yourself doesn't matter. This is what's going on, kids. And it's just part of the purge. You know, we're going to have to stay in communications. No, no. There's a faction of people who live like this. And they say, you know what, don't ever let the right hand know what the left hand is doing. And it's like, can you please, let's sit down and fucking figure out where you got all of this philosophy, babes. Because it's dangerous for the kids. It's never served you well, unless we lock you up, and if we just keep you isolated to a clique, which most of you do. Narcissists live like they're in a cult, and you're either in or out of the family. It's not a friend situation, and they all talk like that too. Oh, family, family, family. And you know what? There were such a thing as tribes, where there was never such a fucking ridiculous, erroneous thing where one person takes care of 5 or maybe more people because there's in-laws, right? Now one person is going to be the breadwinner for one fucking household. Nope. That was a form, includes marriages, of social distancing, giving you this perception bent out of shape from having been pulled away from the earth and tribal living, which is an ecology that is safer than family. I should know, because I have none. And I will only use it to the advantage. Say I'll use it to the fullest intelligence that it's meant for. I don't dip down and say, God, I'm in such bad shape because I have no family. No, I'm in actually better shape than a lot of these goddamn miserable fucking people that don't know how to live. But they sit there boasting and fucking their neighbors off. You people are going to pay, and I will see that day. Because there's tribal living, and we could be so much more useful to each other when you don't let company. Here, we got company putting shit in the water, and we can't do anything about it. Why? Because from one household to the next, who acts like that they can give a shit, and really they're just fragmented. They're upset about something, and they don't know how to stand up for what. What are they standing up for? Nothing. Families don't know. And you're lucky if you have a good friend there. I'll end this conversation by saying, reminding the narcissists, there isn't any higher of a role to become to one another than just simply a good friend. Yes, even a priest, a doctor. I wouldn't say a dentist. Click that over there. It's a subject. A teacher, your mother, your brother, your father, your sister, your next of kin cousin could possibly become a good friend of yours. If you're lucky, you will have one or maybe two by your deathbed by the time you die. That is, if you are lucky.